remember the connection from Orion and Ceres. Because what, and I know this about to sound crazy, but you know what? I'm going to say it anyway. What I remember is I remember women, us being on Orion. I remember men being on Ceres, and we merged. And I remember it was 5 flames, and I remember stepping out the third one. Do you know anything about what I'm saying? Because I know it sounds crazy. All
The
right,
golden
so, all
ones,
right.
the original golden ones from the Orion constellation. And the Syrians are the original people from the dog star. They called the Domo in um, Nomo and man, I'm catching brain lock. The Dogon refer to him as the Nomo. When they came here, they were from a different genome. The Earth genome had to be calibrated to the Earth. The mitochondrial right was given to the mothers. Mitochondrial right is also what we call Earth right because the mitochondria in the woman that she passed to her daughters comes from the soil of the earth. It's got a different name as a microorganism in the soil, but its function is the same to provide energy to the soil. That same way it provides energy to your cells. This is your link to Prime Creator. In the light that the reflective rays of Orion and the reflective rays of the Sirius constellation reaches the earth and affects the people who are descendants that come from those areas. The original golden ones was neuter gender, and they didn't replicate through sexual organs. They replicated by separating themselves.
At the 5th dimension.
Mitosis, I think
I
is what
rem-
it's called.
I know that's going to sound crazy. I was like, at the 5th dimension. I
Yeah,
feel like it happened at the 5th
because
dimension where we got
they in the
separated.
fifth dimension you have control of your light body, not just your physical body. What we doing right now, we're having these sessions and explaining to the people who we are. We also are activating the light body of all of the children as they coming in for the new age. The
Okay.
more mothers, I'm not worried about. I already did my work with the brothers. 16 years of penitentiary, sending guys home to become millionaires, and they want to take care of me like I'm their child. I'm not your child. You know, I want you to use your resources to take care of your family because when I get out, I know how to get it from the dirt.
Right.
All right. So when they come to me to help them refine and write business plans and college applications and essays for college programs, I didn't charge them nothing. Now it's my turn to tell y'all how to turn on your power as the divine feminine so that heaven can be returned back to earth. I'm sick of this patriarchal BS,
Yeah, it is crazy. It's wild.
right? So the only way to win is to turn your war story of patriarchy into a love story under the matriarchy. The matriarchy is founded on the first known principle of the universe, and that's the love. That's taught by Larry Hoover,
All
right?
right.
It's the universal principle of love is taught by Malachi is the Hua, right? But you gotta remember the who is the authoritative utterance,
Hmm.
right? But Hua is the universal love energy. So it's the utterance of the universal love energy that comes in the genuine voice of the genuine article telling the truth to the righteous people to affect them in a righteous manner to make them rise from their slumber. It's the talking to the valley of the dry bones to form the military, the army. the defensive forces. You don't have to fight the war. You just have to rise above the war. They want to keep pulling us in with other people's protests. We already did that.
Yeah, we
It
can't
didn't
go
work.
back to that.
We did it and it didn't work. Why would we want to go do that again?
We definitely can't.
And
But
they
I
told
feel
us
I
that
feel like did you ever watch the 100s?
I don't think so.
All right, well I feel like we at the point of that where we supposed to know better than to fight the war. It's the same way like we supposed to know better than to choose the right wing or the left wing. It's the same plane for real. So when you I feel like we supposed to be at a point where we're supposed to know better. I mean, me personally, but I feel like a lot of people get so wrapped up in it and they take it personal, like really really personal. Like they'll stop speaking to people they know over two people on television that they don't know. So I feel like we supposed to be further than that. But thank you. I'm gonna let you go,
All right.
and I'm gonna watch on though. But I'm gonna get off of here so somebody else can ask their stuff.
Okay, there's
Cause
two more people waiting, so I'm gonna let one of them come up because I really didn't have nothing to talk about. So you just
yeah, you
gave
something
me.
to talk about. I'm about to see what they talking about next. All right.
Okay, sweetie. Gianna Biggs, what's up, sweetie? Let's get it in. They say it's another game.
Yo,
Oh,
how you
what's
doing?
going on, broski?
This is wild. I didn't know you was gonna pick me. I just this is wild.
What's on your
This is
mind?
uh I'm just here at the moment. I mean I just express myself right now. I'm just learning how to stay on the righteous path and alchemize the chaos around me, being a pillar. Um it's it's taxing, it's a heavy weight to carry, but this is just where I've been led in this position I play now. That's on my mind, but I seen that you were about to say something about XXX. I don't know if what
Yeah,
you're about to say, but
what you want me to tell you the story?
yeah.
So I got a video on my Ride Hayes, and I was channeled message from XX Tentacion.
Hmm.
He was getting on my nerves because he kept calling me bro. But I didn't know that was to trigger, because when I started complaining about it, I triggered his tribe. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but once I triggered his tribe, I understood it. But he kept saying, bro, I'm not dead. I'm woke. I'm walking around like everybody else. I'm not dead.
Hmm.
Right? And he was going over Empire Records, telling me about the CEO and the contracts that they was putting in the prices. They was putting contracts on their head for insurance money, right? Because when they were signing their independent record deals for distribution, everybody that signed to Empire, the CEO took out a massive insurance policy. It's called a dead celebrity policy. You ever
Hmm.
hear dead celebrity status?
No.
Okay, so dead celebrity status is when the industry decide that the celebrity is worth more dead than alive. His
Gotcha. So
legacy,
Nipsey Hussle.
like Tupac. Tupac sold more records after they said he was dead than he did when
Hmm.
he was alive. He became a legend, legendary status, which to the industry equates to money. It's
Right.
part of your 360 deal, but if you don't go through with the ritual to penetrate you and give up your manhood, they kill you off. They try to kill you for real, right? But we have somebody in place that's looking for the contracts on your life so that they could use the entertainment industry in order to get a message to the tribes. This is why they was blocking us out of Hollywood. And they was blocking us from controlling our own musical destiny. because we was using the music to communicate all over the land. 'Cause I love music, that good soul music, just as long as it's grooving, right? So we love music. It opens the heart link. Well, I was telling the sister earlier about the heart-to-heart connection of two genuine articles telling the truth, reaching out for each other, right? It's the music is a way to strike the heart chakra, right? So when you hear certain people sing, if they tell, like for instance, the song from Phyllis Hyman, "Gonna Make Changes," she got a whole message in the song, but a lot of us will miss the message if we don't have a genuine love for her as an artist. But if you love her as an artist, it's going to tie you into your heartstring. You're going to establish a sympathetic link. And then when you listen to it, she said, going to make changes, going to make minds aware, move with the masses, making changes everywhere, right? She's going to make changes. But these changes, according to the song, was predicated upon her first changing herself in order to get the masses to be aware of the effort she's putting in to make changes.
Right.
Right. So at the end, she self-sacrificed. The self-sacrifice is to bring the ultimate attention. Then you're going to look at who is she trying to expose? Who was over her career? First person you look at. It's the same way the police say the first person you look at in the murder is the spouse. The first person you look at in the music industry is who's in charge of their career. That's the spouse equivalent.
Right.
In the case of Phyllis Hyman, it was a guy named Clive Davis. Now, if she want our attention on Clive, it will be some other people under Clive that have some funny events happening around their life, like Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina, right? Like Angela Bofield, like Luther Vandross,
Right. That's what I was just thinking of.
right? So everybody that Clive touched, you could tell the tree by the fruit it bear. He trained Diddy, and his name never came up. Let that sink
So
in.
sorry to interrupt.
Everybody knows he trained Diddy. Diddy had three handlers. The first one was Andre Harrell. He couldn't handle him, so he got rid of him and gave him to Clive. Clive, in turn, helped him set up Bad Boy Records and tied him into distribution. Right? Now, he got another handler. His other handler go by the name of Russell Simmons. But when the heat started coming down, when he seen Tupac, he got out of Dodge because he understood from the culture who Tupac was and that he came to expose all of the corruption, right? And he needed a lot of people involved with him exposing the corruption. He needed people to try to be independent and successful so we can see the industry trying to shut him down. So he recruited a team, and Biggie was his lieutenant, right? The East Coast West Coast beef was it was a CIA
Psyop.
media operation, and so we used it to our advantage. We knew what they was doing, so we reenact the historical event that the tribes do. When you getting this public tongue lashing from a chief that's correcting the chief that was in error, you just remain silent because you know you was wrong. Biggie Chief Sitting Bull, the only person that can discipline him in the ranks of spirituality is Tupac Amaru that was on the scene at the time. So how do you discipline him? You give him a public flogging. You tear his ass up in the public domain, but his non-response is the critical part that we need. His lack of response becomes critical because now we know he have the skill set to retaliate in verbal fashion from the songs that he already got out, but he don't really respond. Why he say he didn't respond? He said he wasn't entertaining they media bullshit. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he was Tupac lieutenant, like Tupac said, if any validity to what Tupac said, that means the lieutenant not gonna turn on the general, but the lieutenant will play a role in order for the general's plan to be carried out successfully. Right? Biggie in Jamaica. Heard the rumor I was dead on the street. Bullshit, nigga, getting head on the beach. So they
So,
tell you they leave clues. But if you don't have a love, a genuine, a pure heart love for the art form, for the artists, and for the warfare that we going through, the ability to win, you won't never tie it to Native American wind talk, cold talk. We are
mm-hmm.
cold talkers. So we use the common language in a certain fashion where the tribes in Chicago can communicate with the tribes in LA, and the tribes in LA can communicate with the tribes in Miami, and the tribes in Miami can communicate with the tribes in New York. Now we got the whole land covered. We talking, and they just calling it music. The chiefs is out here. We telling y'all what's going on, but the media's assault is telling y'all we insane. We don't know what we're talking about. But the receipts that we produce say this is an undisputed. What Tupac tell you about in white man's, what's it called, white man's world? He say, they tell me it's the white man I should fear. It's my own kind doing all the killing here. What is he talking about?
Us.
Talking about the black hand.
Us them.
Yeah. They look like us, but they ain't us. Go back to
Mm-hmm.
the Death Row East announcement when he say this is chess, not checkers. He said we've been had him checkmated 3 years ago. Now we trying to get the imposters out. What's the use to winning the war and you still got the infiltrators in your mix? So you create a compelling spectacle and make them and draw them out. We know they sleeper cells, but we also know they're on the FBI and confidential informant list. They also on the local police confidential informant list. They part of the FBI snitch program. They the boule working for the system, right? So once we understand that part, we could begin to see that everybody was playing the part, but they was all doing something different. And that we had the same enemy, but we didn't know that the enemy was making us fight each other because they can't beat us. The only people that can beat us is us. So they turned us against each other in hopes that we won't never figure out what they did. Therefore, we end up annihilating ourselves, right? And that leaves them with the spoils of our heritable rights. It ain't gonna happen on my watch because I'm gonna explain it to you so you can know exactly what I'm talking about and what they doing. It was feathers versus feds. They look like us, but they ain't us. We see you too, black devils.
Mm-hmm.
Every time the peaceful congregate, they come in with some shenanigans, trying to cause a disruption. They the heckler in the comedy show. Everywhere you go, they heckling somebody.
I call it the noise.
Yeah.
I call it the noise. This is a wild intersection. Like this is wild. I just found out about you from B Dale's one of you guys' panels. It was you, B Dale, and another brother. And I went down your rabbit hole, followed your Instagram because you speak in the language, the code, what I understand. Um, so I was listening to one of your videos. I think it was last week, and you're speaking about shrooms, how you make a whole meal, like you make a sandwich with the shrooms. I thought that was funny. Like I was cracking up at work. So I'm wondering, like, can you just go into some shrooms, like the just some wisdom about it, because I want to be more intentional about it. And I always tell people naturally I'm off of shrooms naturally. So when I'm on it, I'm always having clarity, insight. It's just beautiful. It's just it's not for fun. It's for like it's for clarity for me. But I just want to listen to you about speak about it if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. Well, if I tell a lot of people when they ask me about the psilocybins, because it's always anytime you finna open up the mind that's never been opened before, panic can set in, which will cause a bad trip. So I always tell people that
Mm-hmm.
ask me about it to either find a mushroom shaman or find somebody that's done it several times to do it with, so that they know if you start having a bad trip, they can steer you back to a better place because they got the experience, right? But normally the bad trip is the first sign that you're not doing your self work.
It's just a so you know I'm on the same page. I'm past that. Like I'm in love. You know, like some of that stuff. I'm actually the person who would pull me up, but but naturally I've been put in this light. So now it's more just me taking like I've arrived, but I understand when I arrived, this is the beginning, and I arrived 2021. So I'm here. I've been here for a while in reality, and I'm, the rabbit hole deep, but I'm on my feet. That's all I
So
can
you,
say.
you see TJ6 say that to me, I grow them things. He'd be a good person, a person that's been in it long enough to be growing them. They can keep you in a joyful trip, keep you laughing, keep you upbeat. Because soon as if you haven't done the self work and you bring up the trigger, it's gonna give you all this dark shit. That's what the bad trip is. Lack of self work. You got unresolved traumas, and the mushroom gonna make you see it. Right. So when you ain't doing the self work of dealing with your bullshit, your own issues, you need a guide in order to keep you from having a trip that can cause you to have a heart attack. The heart attack is not from the mushroom; it's from the terror of the unresolved issues that you carry with you. You see what Lady Langston he was saying? Mushrooms magnify whatever the current status.
Mm,
It's going to tell you, right? And if you get in touch with psilocybin, which is the spirit of the mushroom, he said he liked that name. That motherfucker came in on a light show to me. I was laying there, I see all these flashing blue. I got my eyes closed, mind you, but it looked like a disco floor with all these red and blue flashing lights. I'm like, what the hell is this? And as soon as I said it, he said, I'm psilocybin, the spirit of the mushroom.
mm,
That shit was
mm.
so funny to me. I bust out laughing. And he started telling me the whole rundown, the history of the mushroom and where they came from. He told me the Teros brought them here to help open up the mind of the people who was denied ascension rights. That's why Paleface been eating mushrooms, and we thought they was crazy for eating, but they was
Did
been used by us thousands of years. It's not new. The purpose of them is to open up your consciousness, stretch your brain out, your mind, because once you expand the mind, it can't go back. It can't
mm,
go back. You broke free now. You can't go back, and that means that now. You got to give yourself time to organize whatever it is in your mind, and then you able to use that extra space of the stretched mind.
So
Right?
that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. The self work past. Obviously, the maintenance is never over, but I'm at the point where I'm exploring the stretch and learning more. So the path I'm on right now is I'm an artist in I'm not in the industry, but I'm an artist and I'm speaking the truth. I can't play the charade. I can't play the game. Um, that's where I'm at, and I'm trying to contain myself on this live, but this excites me. Like, this is really what I do. This is really what it is, and it's time. It's now. Like, I'm alive. It's time. We here. It's that. There's no time to play. There's no time to look back, live in the past. It's right now. Like that's the energy I'm on
That's
with
your
this music.
masculine.
Say it one more time.
That's your masculine. Your divine masculine is activated.
Yeah.
Because your character is more no nonsense. When the divine masculine energy is activated, right? You could be a comedian, but when you say enough is enough, people are gonna be like, oh, he said enough is enough. It's time to stop.
Hmm.
Ain't gonna be no kiki and ha ha when you step into that energy and it projects itself. When you step into a room, it affects people. The women waiting on us to re-embody that divine masculine energy because it brings their divine feminine from the background to the forefront.
I can't keep containing it no more. I can't. I can't do it. We can't
Well,
do it.
ain't nothing wrong with being dangerous, but be dangerous under control. Because if you're dangerous out of control, you bring destruction upon yourself.
I agree. I want to express myself. I want to say this like it's not strange, but the way like I came up, it happened perfectly to where I don't abuse aggression or I don't abuse violence because I was controlled my whole life, suppressed. But because I was suppressed, I learned how to actually I shied away from the danger. So when I got back into it, I already had the control aspect. I actually sometimes I shy away from the danger, but recently I learned how to actually appreciate appreciate it, like appreciate it because it's necessary.
But we need men to be, since when you say no, you mean no. When you say yes, you mean yes. We don't need the ones that no mean yes and yes mean. We don't need them kind of guys. You can't trust them under pressure.
Right. Their liabilities.
Yeah, you can't trust them under pressure. We need men to be men. Stop trying to be a woman. Be a man. If you're a man, stop trying to be. It's not an attack on alternative lifestyles, but we here for a purpose. If you're gonna be here and you got the equipment, you're supposed to be here to fulfill that purpose that you came here, right? And our purpose as males is to rise up and evolve into the divine masculine so that the women can turn earth into heaven. They can't do it as long as we low vibrational, down low, creeping with dudes. They can't, because that's right there is it's a direct affront to survival. You can take 50 men and 50 cross dressers, put them on an island, and let them die, and in 200 years they're gonna excavate 100 men.
What's that
You can
mean?
put
Excavate.
50 men and 50 women on the island. In 100 years, you're gonna have descendants. The island can be overpopulated. See, it's a difference. Productivity versus non-productivity. Our captors, the one that's been feeding us this misinformation that we've been living by, is the ones who don't want us to populate the earth and they don't belong here. So they want to have us in controllable numbers. They systems of control, and they tell you what it is, sociology, the study of the movement of people, how people interact in groups. So that once you understand how the science to it, now you can see that they're using it in real time. But if you don't know the science, you never knew they was using it in your face, behind your back.
So, how long did it take for you to come to this point where you see the plot and you see?
Always have. The hard part for me was to see it. The hard part to me was explaining to the people that had been pre-programmed about the program that they couldn't see. I had to learn how to explain to children how the minds of humanity was hijacked in order for regular people, adults, to understand it.
So, do you? This is a question. Do you think that? Because personally, a part of me knows like, okay, I'm not supposed to tell everybody this stuff. I'm not supposed to teach or help, try to help. When they're ready, things will align for them to receive. So in that process, do we necessarily learn how to explain higher forms of thoughts?
First, you have to understand it. So once you understand it, you can explain it to people with a lower intelligence easier because you know exactly what's taking. Like I explained the mechanics of how somebody could be living and the sister can make contact with them while they alive. People think you got to be dead. You don't got to be dead. It's just got to be a genuine affection that's establishing the sympathetic link, and you can communicate.
And this is only with blue candles. What about white
No,
candles?
she was using blue candles for a specific person because the person was tied to the color blue. That was already the first step in the link. Then
Okay.
she used the candle as fire magic. She's a Leo, he's a Leo. So now they talking through the flame, right? If when her heart was pure, she established that link because his heart was pure. And when one of the Oracle sisters, the Delphi sisters, daughters of Isis, and many other names they went under,